breaking news. A man is dead and an ICE agent seriously hurt after an immigration arrest ended in gunfire in Franklin Park.
A quiet Chicago suburb became a crime scene this week when an ICE officer opened fire during what should have been a routine arrest. The man shot and killed was a father of young children, and tonight his community is demanding answers. Was this deadly force justified? Or did this go too far? Franklin Park is usually a peaceful place, a mix of working-class families, small businesses, and quiet streets just west of Chicago. But on insert date, everything changed. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents, better known as ICE, were carrying out an arrest order for 39-year-old Silverio Villegas-Gonzalez, a man with an outstanding federal removal order. What happened next would leave this community stunned. Shots fired, a man dead, and a flurry of unanswered questions about how an arrest turned into a fatal encounter. According to ICE's preliminary report, agents located Villegas-Gonzalez near insert street location. Witnesses say unmarked vehicles surrounded his car around time, e.g. 9:30 a.m. Neighbors reported hearing shouting, then a brief scuffle. Within moments, multiple gunshots rang out. Some witnesses claim they heard 3 shots. Others say it was only 1. When the smoke cleared, Villegas-Gonzalez was on the ground. Emergency responders arrived within minutes, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. Police quickly cordoned off the area, and the normally quiet street was swarming with squad cars, yellow tape, and federal agents. This is where the story gets even more complicated. IC claims Villegas-Gonzalez resisted arrest and attempted to flee. They say the use of force was necessary to protect officers and the public, but several community members tell a different story. One witness told local reporters that the man did not appear to have a weapon. Another neighbor said he saw Villegas-Gonzalez raise his hands moments before the shots were fired. Without body cam footage being released, it's impossible to know exactly what happened in those crucial seconds, and that uncertainty is fueling public anger. Within hours of the shooting, vigils were organized at the site of the confrontation. Family members described Villegas-Gonzalez as a devoted father and hardworking man who had lived in Franklin Park for years. They say he didn't deserve to die this way. Immigrant rights groups quickly mobilized, staging protests outside the ICE Chicago field office downtown. Chants of "No justice, no peace" echoed through the streets as community leaders demanded transparency, calling the shooting an execution. Local officials are also speaking out. Franklin Park trustees have called for the Department of Homeland Security to release all available footage and evidence. They say the community deserves answers and accountability. IC has confirmed that the Department of Homeland Security's Office of Inspector General is investigating the shooting, a standard procedure. Whenever an ICE officer uses deadly, the investigation will likely examine whether proper arrest protocols were followed, if non-lethal methods could have been used, whether the officer's decision to shoot was justified under federal policy. Officials say the full investigation could take weeks, possibly months, before findings are released to the public. This incident isn't happening in a vacuum. Chicago is currently one of several cities targeted by Operation Midway Blitz, a federal campaign to ramp up immigration enforcement. Over the past month, dozens of arrests have been made, and activists warn that tensions between federal agents and local residents are reaching a breaking point. There have been past cases where ICE shootings led to major lawsuits and policy changes. In some instances, families of those killed have received settlements, but only after years of legal battles. This case could become a flashpoint in the national debate over immigration enforcement, federal power, and the rights of undocumented residents. Legal experts say the key question will be whether the officer reasonably believed lives were in danger at the moment he fired. Criminal defense attorney, insert name, told local news outlets. Deadly force is supposed to be a last resort. Investigators will be looking closely at whether there was an immediate threat that justified shooting. Civil rights groups argue that ICE should be more transparent and that the public has a right to see the body cam footage before drawing conclusions. Right now, Franklin Park is grieving and waiting for answers, waiting for justice. waiting to understand how a federal arrest turned into a deadly shooting. The coming weeks will be crucial. If investigators find the shooting was unjustified, we could see lawsuits, federal oversight, and even criminal charges. If they rule it justified, we may see more protests and renewed calls to rein in federal enforcement actions in Chicago. What happened in those final seconds could change the way this city and this country looks at ICE operations going forward. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was this a tragic but justified use of force, or a fatal mistake that should never have happened? And don't forget to subscribe to Chicago Loop News for updates as soon as new information is released.